Would Venus Dasa give good results to one and all? Astrologer Aditya Guruji. There is none who would not be excited about the incoming Venus Dasa, major period. When it's seen that someone is progressing very well or has reached a significant height, it is customary to acclaim that he is running Venus Dasa. But in practice, we do see the beginning of fall of a person who had been doing quite well prior to the commencement of Venus Dasa and subsequently slowly deteriorating to reach the abyss coinciding with the end of the Dasa. Hence, we can debate if it is really correct to blindly believe that one is blessed to have the Venus Dasa in his life. If we try to analyze the reason for this expectation, it could be seen that as per the concept of Dasa Bhakti period in Vedic astrology gifted by great sage Parashara, dividing the lifetime of human beings of 120 years into 9 unequal segments to define the favorable and unfavorable phases, the major period of Venus has been assigned 20 years by him. It is significant to mention here that if Venus Dasa occurs in the lifetime of a human being, its influence prevails upon him for 20 years, which is much higher than that of any other planet. If we can make an assumption that on an average a human being would live up to 80 years, it can be seen that a quarter of his lifetime would be prospected by Venus. The expectation about the impending Venus Dasa is hence very high, as Venus would influence almost 1/3 of his lifetime, if we discount the immature phases of childhood and adolescence, as Venus alone is the significator of a good wife, nice house, high-end vehicle, luxurious life, extravagance and pleasures from everything including women. The impending Venus Dasa raises the excitement. In the articles of Jyothadamanam Divarawasiyam, Astrology, the Divine Secret, I had explained an important concept in a simplified manner. I had indicated in the earlier chapters that there are hidden explanations behind the personification of the planets that are in predestined revolution in the outer space, with relationships such as husband-wife, father-son etc., as taught by our great sages. The explanation of concept of friendship and enmity amongst the 9 planets by our sages are meant to guide us to assess with ease whether the major periods of these planets are favorable or not. Likewise, planets Jupiter and Venus, personified to be bitter enemies, would not do good to each other's ascendants. If they still have to deliver good results, then they must be constrained to do so. Further, to the ascendants Taurus and Libra of the Asura Guru, Venus, the Diva Guru or Jupiter would not give favorable results. Similarly, Venus would not do good to ascendants Sagittarius and Pisces, belonging to his enemy, Jupiter. Additionally, if they happen to own the 6th house denoting genesis of enemies, more harm would be done during their Dasa, major period. This result could be expected wherein Venus is the 6th house lord for Sagittarius and Jupiter is the owner of 6th house of Libra. To the ascendants of Libra, when Jupiter is exalted and aspects the 6th house, then unless he gets weakened by a different means, he would give the ill effects of debts, disease, enemies, argument, court case, imprisonment etc. very strongly during his Dasa. Similarly, when Venus has occupied his own 6th house or has strengthened the 6th house by other means, he would give unfavorable results to the native. Hence, Venus Dasa and Bhakti does not give good results to all horoscopes. At the same time, as per the Bhavath Bhavam, second-level relationship of Bhava, rule, the owner of a house when placed in 6th or 8th to that house would not do harm. In these lines, Venus's placement in the 11th house, that is 6th from 6th house, to Sagittarius ascendants, and similarly Jupiter's placement in the 11th house to Libra ascendants, does not give unfavorable results. Next to 6th house, Venus would own the 8th house to the Pisces ascendants. When Venus is powerful during his Dasa, he would send the native abroad or to other state and make him wander around for his livelihood. In some situations he might have to face dishonor and court cases due to woman-related issues. Similarly, when a strong Jupiter, the eighth lord to the ascendants of Taurus, would do harm when placed singularly and give results relating to foreign country and other states. But, as sixth house is considered more harmful than eighth house, and since the sixth house denotes the enemies and unfavorable aspects for the native, when Jupiter is weak to the ascendants of Sagittarius and Venus is placed in his own sixth house or becomes powerful by any other means, lots of unfavorable results could be expected during Venus Dasa. Under such circumstances, it is not surprising if the Venus Dasa drags down the native down to a very impoverished state. I can present horoscopes with such arrangements, wherein Ketu Dasa would have bestowed tremendous comforts of authority and material, but would have been reprimanded for his misdeeds during the following Dasa of Venus, losing his position, stature and facing court case and imprisonment. Also, Venus signifies women, lust, luxury, extravagance and entertainment. Venus Dasa would give harm, dishonor and loss through women. Such a result can be expected by Libra ascendants with a weak Venus and a powerful Jupiter occupying his own sixth house. To any ascendant, the sixth house lord should not be powerful when the ascendant lord is weak. This situation only indicates that our enemy being powerful, even while we are weak. Our sages have suggested subtly without an explicit explanation that if these combinations exist in horoscopes, then the progress of the native would be hindered. I am repeating this in my articles and question-answer sessions. Though Jupiter and Venus are considered to have opposite behaviors, our scriptures identify only Sun and Moon to be Venus's enemies. Hence, to the ascendants of Cancer and Leo of this duo, a powerful Venus placed alone would not give completely good results. In such an arrangement, while he would give positive results with respect to his significations like house, vehicle and pleasure from woman, he would give negative results with respect to aspects relating to his ownership. To the friendly ascendants of Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn and Aquarius, Venus Dasa would give immense benefits. Even if Venus happens to be weak, he would not give bad results to these ascendants during his Dasa. An important conjunction here is that as the planets, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Mars and Saturn have dual ownerships, the results during their Mahadasa would also be contrasting, and completely favorable or unfavorable results is not predicted. If the planet gives good results during the first half owing to favorable ownership, the second half would see harmful effects due to unfavorable ownership. If the planet happens to give unfavorable results in the first half, the same planet in the second half would erase the evil effects bestowed earlier and give favorable results. This is the secret of creation. When this arrangement is considered for Venus Dasa and Venus is favorably placed, he would give favorable significations in plenty. During the first 10 years, depending on the age of the native, he would bestow a good wife through marriage, magnificent house, high-end vehicle, female children, extravagant and luxurious lifestyle and benefits through womenfolk. Similarly, Venus Dasa or Bhakti at a young age would give intense romantic experiences. Venus alone is responsible for sudden introduction of two unknown people born and brought up with different backgrounds, to get connected and entangled with romance. As the basis of romance is lust, to those with a powerful Venus, lust alone would be in the focus in the name of love. Who excels in fine arts? Venus is the lord of fine arts. As he is the source for music, dance, singing, acting etc., he would encourage the native to pursue the art form pertaining to the house he gets connected with. For example, Venus would bestow interest in music when associated with the third house, and when connected with the ascendant or fifth house or 10th house he would create interest in dance, acting, producing movies and television serials. The native would be famous in these fields. When one is running the Dasa or Bhakti of Venus, he would naturally start showing interest in the fields of cinema and media. Particularly, as Venus is the owner of 10th house to the Leo ascendants, the natives would be engaged with persistently in the domains of fine arts. In the artistic domains, one could be a director, producer, actor, cameraman, light boy, track mover, watchman of the studio, depending on the strength of Venus and the strength of his horoscope. If Venus is not positive and unfavorably placed, then he would push the native to keep unsuccessfully pursuing in the artistic domain without being able to switch over to any other profession, thereby losing his prime years and repenting for the same later.